Welcome to Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible, where I pull from Warhammer 40k lore to help explain biblical lore. And today we're going to be talking about the Heldrakes, keeping up the theme with the Space Marine 2. Before we get into the video, this channel is now officially a Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible channel. I will be moving my regular biblical videos to its own channel, and that'll be called His Word Only Bible Study. Okay. Now, take the wikis with a grain of salt, and I am not a lore expert, okay? So, and if you like what you see, please consider a like, and if you're new, please subscribe. So, anyways, now that we got that out of the way, so the Heldrake is a winged demon engine of chaos that plummets out of the skies like a living comet. Real quick too, the way my content works is we do the Warhammer 40k lore, and then we get into the biblical lore, and then we come back to Warhammer 40k lore. So, sorry. Hurtling towards enemy aircraft and crashing claws first into them from above. Each Heldrake is a vicious predator, hell forged deep within the warp. These monstrous creatures take cruel joy in diving down upon the unsuspected air support of their enemies in order to shred them into pieces with scything wings and rune-carved talons. Heldrakes are usually found within the ranks of Chaos Space Marine trader legions, attaching themselves to the bottoms of Chaos warships and waiting until the ship reaches low orbit of its target planet. Then the Heldrake will plunge into the world's atmosphere and engage enemy forces in the war-torn skies. Like the dragons of ancient Terran myth, packs of Heldrakes soared through the roiling smoke of the battlefield, metal wings spread wide and thrusters burning white-hot. Fire burst from their iron-fanged maws, roaring out in jets to consume the unwary, while the Heldrake's razor-sharp talons are strong enough to tear an armored aircraft in two. Demon engines like the Heldrake are infernal creations of depraved chaos warpsmiths, ritually summoned demons trapped in iron and brass. The hatred and fury of these captive entities burns like a forge, powering the infernal machineries that form both their prisons and their weapons. Compelled by dark sigils etched into their metal frames, each demon engine must serve its mortal master's will. The greater the demonic entity, the more powerful the demon engine, and the greater a weapon of war it becomes. Sounds just like the Imperium of Man. Anyways, there are many varieties of demon engines, for the minds of the warpsmiths are as inventive as they are twisted. Some take the form of snarling armored walkers or rumbling tank beasts, while others soar on brazen wings from raining barrages of ectoplasm onto their screaming victims. To ripping apart tanks with their piston-powered claws, demon engines inflict myriad forms of deletion upon their prey. There are few of these ironclad terrors as infamous or inescapable as the Heldrake packs. Okay, sorry, I had to make sure my mic was turned up. Biomechanical dragons the size of combat aircraft, Heldrakes mount fearsome ranged weaponry within their crushing jaws and boast lethal talons that can rip through the wing from a bomber or snatch a pilot from his cockpit in a single, split-second pass. Even one of these malevolent aerial hunters is a terrible threat, and when the whole packs of Heldrakes wheel through the sky above the battlefield, no enemy is safe. During warp transit, Heldrakes infest Chaos battleships and cruisers like wild beasts. Many hang like vast bats from the miles-long superstructures of these jagged void craft, suckling the starship's energized lifeblood through cables and pipes. Other Heldrake packs take over whole subdecks within the bows of the largest Chaos warships, driving out challengers with jets of warp flame and ruling over their cavernous domains like beasts of dark legend. When the Chaos Fleet reaches its target world, it is the Heldrake packs that lead the planetary assault, falling from the underbellies of their warships in vast swarms. The Heldrakes plunge down through the atmosphere with their metallic wings tucked in tight. Brazen holes glow with fires of re-entry, while from behind, the Heldrake's eyes, hate-filled demonic entities, stare out with avid hunger. Down the Drakes plunge, arrowing into combat airspace before spreading their wings and soaring into battle. So we get into the history. Heldrakes were once noble fighter aircrafts known by Space Marine Tech Marine pilots, though they are now something much more hideous. The dark energies of the warp have granted them a form much better suited to the predatory role their twisted spirits savor. While all Heldrakes have sweeping wings and powerful engines common to all Chaos fighter craft, such as the Hellblade or Hell Talon, their resemblance ends there, for their aspect is one of flying demonic reptiles, or torsaurs more than any ordinary aircraft. The miasma of wrongness that surrounds these fell creatures is due not only to their hideous hybridization, but also the gnawing anguish of what remains of the individuals who used to be their pilots. The steersmen inside the Heldrakes, having become consumed by the power and independence granted to them by their fighter craft, have literally become one with their vehicles due to the power of the warp. At first, the transformation is of the body. The corrupted Heretic Astartes pilots shrink back into the interiors of their machines until they see with the craft's auto senses and speak with its vox grills. Eventually, as the machines themselves achieve demonic sentience, the transformation affects the pilot's very soul. After so many centuries swooping through the warp as pitiless hunters. That's the first time I've seen that word. The steersman's soul melds with that of their war engine until they are entirely subsumed. The pilot's physical form becomes an atrophied feudal ball that burns deep into the core of the demon engine where a nature beast would have a heart. One of these days I will learn how to read. My goodness. Trapped and made subservient to the murderous desires of the demon with which they now share their prison, the withered, blackened pilots scream in the darkness, their trauma and rage magnified by the vox rays of the Heldrake into haunting cries. Alright. So the role. Often the first sign of a full-scale Chaos Space Marine invasion comes in the form of an attack by Heldrakes. These metallic monstrosities traverse the void between the worlds by clinging to the undersides of Chaos Space Marine attack ships. Wings folded protectively around themselves in the manner of bats, and their piston-driven claws clamped into the fuselage above. Dark, umbilical cords, sheathed in organic webbing, probe outwards from each Heldrake's body to burrow into the host voice ship outer surface, drawing away raw energy as a leech draws blood from its victim. When the Chaos warships arrive in low orbit, the Heldrakes detach themselves, unfurling their great wings as they plummet towards the atmosphere of the victim planet below. Some will soar through the skies as heralds of destruction to come, retractable weapons pushing out from their gullets and spitting volleys of red-hot bullets that cut down the scrambling, earthbound defenders below. Others prefer to plunge through the clouds into the crucible of battle, screaming in savage joy as they crash headlong into the fight. Known formations: Heldrake Fear Squadron. Heldrake Fear Squadrons consist of at least 3 and up to 5 Heldrakes. These formations are usually the first sign of a chaos invasion, as the Heldrake shriek from the skies before the main body of the chaotic invasion force. All right. So now we're going to move to the biblical side of things here. And now we're going to see how in heaven, right, they have vehicles and stuff like that. We're going to see that right here. So Daniel 7:9. I beheld, to the thrones were cast down, an ancient of days who did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure of wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his will as a burning fire. We're going to see what these wheels are. So you'll see what are called the Ophanum. These wheels, right? The wheel within a wheel. But these also carry these thrones, right? And you're going to see the enemy has thrones, and then God has thrones, okay? Because you see here, this is almost like a sky battle, you know, a spaceship battle right here. Because you see, as I beheld, the thrones were cast down, right? And we have here Colossians 1:16, for by him were all things created that are in heaven, that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. Now, we're going to get even deeper into this thing here. So here's the wheels, right? They're voice activated. Anyways, so right here, in their whole body, or let's see, I'll read from 10 here, 10 to 13. And as for their appearances, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel. When they went upon their four sides. So they're following these cherubim, right? Like a sentinel type thing, or a drone, you can say. And they turned not as they went, but as the place whither the head looked, they followed it. They turned not as they went. So this is almost like a psychic connection type thing, right? Okay, in their whole body, in their backs, in their hands, in their wings, and the wheels. So it's talking about the cherubim and the Ophanum here. Were full of eyes round about. When the wheels, you can think of these as cameras per se, right? This is an organic type of machine thing, right? And as I always bring up, in Farscape, there was a ship called the Leviathan that was a living being. It was an entity, but it was a ship. But anyways, and their hands and their wings were full of eyes round about. It had so. As for the wheels, ready, it was cried unto them in my hearing, O wheel. Okay, and everyone had four faces, and the first face was the face of a cherub. Second was the face of a man. Third, the face of a lion. Fourth, the face of an eagle. And the cherubims were lifted up. This living creature that I saw by the river of Chabar. So it's telling the wheel, time to go. It's voice activated. Anyways, I'm sorry. And the cherubims were lifted up, and this living creature saw the river Chabar. And when the cherubims went up, their wheels went up by them. And when the cherubims lifted up their wings to mount from the earth, the same wheels also turned not from beside them. So there you go. And what's carrying, like the throne of God? The Ophanum. So it's the same with the enemy. Now we're going to talk about Leviathan. All right. So, canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook? This is Job chapter 41, by the way. Or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst not thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through a thorn? Well, he makes supplications unto thee. He will speak soft words unto thee. Will he make a covenant with thee, or take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? That's interesting. So you tell me this reptile dinosaur thing can be like a bird? Anyways. Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they par him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? What he's saying is you can't get to this guy, this Leviathan, right? We're gonna see that its scales, man, are like its shield. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So behold, hope is in vain, be cast down even at the sight of him. None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me, that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely portion. And who could discover the face of the garment, and who can come to him with his double bridle? Now, check this out. Ready? This is verse 18. By his sneezings a light does shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. There's a character called Lucifer. Now, if you guys know on this channel, Lucifer is clearly not Satan. It literally calls him a man. In verse 16, Isaiah 14 it is. And it literally calls him a man in verse 16 there. And also, Hillel ben Shahar. Shahar is a Canaanite god. I don't think Satan is the son of a Canaanite god. But we'll see in the book of Enoch, it talks about this son of the serpent, right? And anyways, I may have brought it up here. Let me see. I did. Okay. Right here. So this is 1 Enoch chapter 69. By the way, Jude 1, 14 through 16 pretty much gives a nod to the book of Enoch and to the prophecies of Enoch. So I always get called out because of that, but it's literally in the Bible. So anyways, right here. Verse 12 will come here. By the way, you can check that out. That's where that comes from, but I'll be quiet on that. So the bites of the serpent and the smitings which befall the noontide heat. Ready? The son of the serpent named Tabiet. Lucifer, son of the morning. Right? Oops. Well, what does it say right here? By his sneezings a light doth shine, and his eyelids are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils go a smoke. Starting to sound like a dragon, isn't it? Okay. And his breath kindled coals, and flame goeth out of his mouth. And his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow was turned into joy before him. The flakes of his skin are joined together. They are firm themselves. They cannot be moved. So exactly like the Heldrakes in Warhammer 40k, this Leviathan is like impenetrable almost. Okay. So let's go here. Oh yeah, and his heart is firm as stone, yea, hard as a piece of nether millstone. So we can keep going in that, but anyways, we're going to move on. And we have Satan, right? Or this, you could say this representation of his kingdom, we'll say. Revelation 12:4. And his tail drew third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Okay. We're going to see here, there's this, oh wait, hold on a second. Right here. There were 7 kings, right? Revelation 17:10. So we have the mystery of the woman and the beast that carried her. There's so much I could get into this, who the woman is and all that. It's this entity called the deep, okay, which is a Leviathan. But anyways, I've done plenty of videos on that. So, anyways, okay. And there are seven kings. Remember, there's 7 heads on this beast. 5 are fallen, 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Here we have 5. What does it say? Because I always wondered why it only had 5 here and not the 7. Well, it says here, 5 are fallen. Okay, these are the 5 that have fallen. So right here, and they're chiefs over hundreds and over 50s and over 10s, right? The name of the first is Jaquan. Then we got Aspiel. These are all what you would call seraphim. Satan is a seraphim, right? What does seraphim mean here? Hold on a second. And by the way, they're mentioned in Daniel. Okay, I'm not bringing something, out of the blue here. Tell me if this sounds like Satan or not, right? An angelic being regarded as, where is it? You know what? I did the wrong one. So Strong's, right? A fiery serpent, right? Nowhere in the Bible is a cherubim described as a dragon. Okay? It's like a man with 4 faces, right? But Satan's called the dragon, the old serpent, right? So they are seraphim. And I believe all these guys here are quote unquote dragons, right? Now, granted, we're not going to be talking about these guys. I brought these up for the Void Dragon a long time ago. I may even update that though. So, but anyways, I digress. So we got these 7. That's why there's 7 heads on this dragon character, right? This Hydra looking thing, right? With 7 heads and 10 horns. Anyways. So we got these vehicles, right? And then we're going to see here, there's dragons that they have as well. The enemy, right? So Isaiah 34:13. And the thorns shall come up in their palaces, and nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof. And it shall be a habitation of dragons and a court for owls. Now, this character is called, or here, we'll get even more into this. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl, okay, let's see what this screech owl is here. Darn it, I forgot to get out of there. I'll just have to, anyways. Where is it? Oh, I'm going to have to go to the next one. Right, the screech owl, a female night demon. That's interesting. Lilith. Huh. That's interesting. Go look up a picture of Inanna. Okay? And you'll see where I'm going with that. But anyways. So we have dragons. I keep going in the wrong one. Darn it. Anyways. So we got dragons here. Not just a top dog dragon, but these dragons that are probably doing their bidding and all that stuff, right? And not only that, they also have vehicles, right? They're in this sky battle, I guess whatever you want to call it, right here, where the ancient days, and beheld, the thrones were cast down. Very interesting. Okay, and if you want to check out, this is the Book of Enoch, chapter 69. You could go to Wikisource, so just type in First Enoch, and then type verse 69 or a subject you want to look into, and then right after put in Wikisource. Okay, and I'll put this in the description as well. Anyways, so now we're going to be going back to Warhammer 40k. Okay, armament. The Heldrake is armed with 2 sets of powerful piston-driven claws that are capable of tearing into enemy aircraft as easily as if it were flesh. The creature has or set of back claws located on what appear as short legs that the Heldrake uses to hang from the bottom, of Chaos starships and to land, my goodness, and to latch on top of the enemy aircraft, allowing its other claws located on its longer primary limbs to tear into the enemy aircraft. The Heldrake is also armed with a single long-range weapon, a Hades autocannon, that is located within its mouth. The Hades autocannon is a massive 6-barreled, rapid-firing autocannon that allows the Heldrake to sight down masses of enemy troops and aircraft with its contemptuous ease. The Heldrake can also be armed with a Bell Flamer in place of its Hades autocannon. The Bell Flamer is a demonic flamer weapon that allows the Heldrake to heave out the great gouts of demonic warp fire, roiling within their chests. The burning ichor that rains down upon their prey ignites flesh and soul alike. Okay? Notable Heldrakes. Abomination. What demonic essence drives the Heldrakes known as Abomination? None can say. For the beast machine broke its bonds and slaughtered its warpsmiths creators upon the very hour of its binding. It has been the terror of Imperial air crews for centuries. A nightmare creature shrouded in horror stories. From hollow Surbos to the acid veils of Nachtgast, Abomination has torn its victims from the skies with its unrestrained savagery and drawn other Heldrakes in its wake. Ordos Malleus, Departamento Analyticus Technical Specifications. My goodness. The technical specifications of the Heldrake have not yet been obtained by the Ordos of the Inquisition. We'll have to go into more depth of the Chaos vehicles here, I think. That might be next week, or for Monday. So, anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And my content, if you're new, you're going to be seeing the truth of what the Bible says. I don't hold back. Okay? You're going to get what it says. The raw form of it, I guess, per se. And let's just say you're not going to hear it in church. There's a lot of stuff that the mainstream church puts out there that is a load of barnacles, we'll just say. But anyways, so you're going to get something new here, right? And of course, this channel is now a Warhammer 40k Lore in the Bible channel. I want to stress that there will be no more regular biblical videos on here. That's going to another channel, His Word Only Bible Study. Okay. So anyways, guys, I want to thank you all for your support. And lately, the Warhammer 40k videos have been killing it. So thank you guys. And let's keep going, right? Let's keep going. But you guys have a wonderful day.